The director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation may not be long for his job. Kash Patel, the man Donald Trump installed at the head of the most powerful domestic law enforcement agency in the United States, is facing a set of circumstances, pressures, and political dynamics that people close to both the White House and the FBI are describing with a word that has become all too familiar in this administration: imminent. His firing, according to reporting that is emerging from multiple directions simultaneously, could be imminent. And the reasons behind the possibility of his departure, the specific failures, the specific frictions, and the specific political calculations that are driving the conversation about his future, reveals something important about the state of the FBI, the state of the Trump administration's relationship with its own appointees, and the broader dysfunction that has been defining this second term in ways that are becoming impossible to ignore. Let us be precise about what is known and what is reported. Patel has not been fired as of this reporting. He is still the FBI director, but the conversation about why he could be fired imminently is being had in specific enough terms by specific enough people with specific enough access to the relevant decision makers that it deserves the serious examination that your audience needs in order to understand what is happening inside one of the most consequential law enforcement institutions in the country. Let us go through exactly who Kash Patel is and how he got to where he is, what the specific pressures and failures have been that are driving the imminent firing conversation, what the political dynamics inside the Trump orbit are that are shaping his vulnerability, and what the departure of the FBI director this early in an administration would mean for the institution, for ongoing investigations, and for the broader question of law enforcement independence in America. Kash Patel arrived at the FBI directorship as one of the most explicitly political appointments to that position in the Bureau's history. His career has been built around his loyalty to Donald Trump and around his vocal and sustained criticism of the FBI itself, specifically of the FBI's role in the investigations that touched Trump during both his first term and the period between his two presidencies. Patel was one of the most aggressive voices arguing that the FBI had been weaponized against Trump, that the Russia investigation and the various other investigations that touched Trump and his associates reflected political bias and institutional corruption rather than legitimate law enforcement activity. He argued for accountability, for restructuring, and for the installation of leadership that would redirect the Bureau away from what he characterized as its politicized recent history. Trump's decision to appoint someone with that specific background and those specific views to lead the FBI was itself a statement about what the administration intended to do with the Bureau in the second term. It was a statement that the FBI was going to be fundamentally restructured, that the career officials and the institutional culture that Patel and others had been criticizing for years were going to be confronted and changed, and that the director of the FBI was going to be someone whose primary qualification was not institutional experience or investigative expertise, but political alignment with the president's own views about what the Bureau had been doing wrong and what needed to change. What has actually happened inside the FBI since Patel took over has been considerably more complicated and considerably more troubled than the narrative of bold institutional reform that his appointment was supposed to represent. The specific problems that are driving the imminent firing conversation fall into several distinct but interconnected categories. The management dimension has been the most immediately visible source of concern. The FBI is an extraordinarily complex organization with tens of thousands of employees, dozens of field offices across the country, and a portfolio of ongoing investigations covering everything from domestic terrorism to organized crime to counterintelligence to cybersecurity threats to public corruption. Managing that complexity requires not just political will, but operational expertise, institutional knowledge, and the kind of leadership skills that come from years of experience with the specific demands of law enforcement management. The reporting that has emerged from inside the Bureau describes an organization under Patel's leadership that is experiencing the kind of management dysfunction that happens when an institution is led by someone whose primary qualifications are political rather than operational. Career FBI agents and officials who have stayed on through the transition from previous leadership are describing an environment of confusion about priorities, of contradictory directives, of institutional uncertainty about what the Bureau's actual mission and actual operating principles are under the new leadership. That confusion has real operational consequences. Investigations that require sustained focus and sustained resource commitment are being affected by the institutional turbulence at the leadership level. Relationships with state and local law enforcement partners that depend on the FBI's credibility and reliability as a partner in complex investigations are being strained by questions about what the Bureau's actual commitments are under the current director. And the morale of the career professionals who actually conduct the Bureau's investigative work is suffering in ways that are being documented by people who care about the Bureau's mission and who are alarmed by what they are seeing. The political dimension of Patel's vulnerability is equally significant and in some ways more immediately determinative of his future than the management problems. Trump's relationship with the people he appoints has always been driven by a combination of loyalty assessment and performance assessment. And when the performance assessment becomes sufficiently negative, the loyalty that was the basis of the appointment is not sufficient protection. Patel was appointed because of his loyalty and because of his expressed commitment to restructuring the FBI in ways that aligned with Trump's own grievances about the Bureau. But if the restructuring is not proceeding in ways that are producing the results that Trump expected, if the Bureau is not demonstrating the kind of institutional realignment that the appointment was supposed to deliver, then the calculus about Patel's continued utility to the administration changes. The specific results that Trump and his inner circle were expecting from the Patel appointment involved visible and concrete demonstrations that the FBI under new leadership was operating differently from the FBI that Trump had come to view as an enemy institution. Investigations of the administration's political opponents that would demonstrate that the Bureau was now pursuing accountability in directions that the previous leadership had avoided. Structural changes to the Bureau's operations that would reduce its capacity to conduct the kinds of politically sensitive investigations that had been directed at Trump and his associates, and a general institutional culture change that would make the Bureau a more reliable instrument of the administration's priorities rather than an independent law enforcement institution operating according to its own professional standards. The degree to which those specific results have or have not been delivered is a matter of significant disputes and significant complexity, but the conversation about Patel's imminent potential firing suggests that at least some of the key figures in the Trump orbit have concluded that the results have not been sufficient, that the FBI, under Patel, is not performing in the ways they expected and demanded, and that a change in leadership may be necessary to produce what the appointment was supposed to deliver. The legal dimension adds another layer of complexity. The FBI director serves a statutory 10-year term that is specifically designed to insulate the director from political pressure and to ensure continuity of leadership across presidential administrations. The statutory term is one of the institutional safeguards that Congress built into the FBI structure to protect the Bureau's independence from political interference. Trump fired FBI Director James Comey during his first term, a firing that generated a massive political and legal controversy that ultimately contributed to the appointment of the special counsel whose investigation dominated the first term. The legal and political costs of firing another FBI director, particularly one that Trump himself appointed, would be significant and would restart conversations about presidential interference with law enforcement that the administration would prefer to avoid. Those legal and political costs are part of the calculus that is preventing a firing from happening immediately, even as the conversations about it are occurring. The administration's political and legal advisors are almost certainly counseling caution about the optics and the consequences of a second Trump FBI director firing, even as the performance concerns about Patel are generating pressure to make a change. The tension between those two considerations is what is producing the imminent but not yet happened quality of the current situation. For the American public and for the career professionals inside the FBI who are doing the actual work of investigating threats to public safety and national security, the uncertainty about the Bureau's leadership direction is itself a significant problem, regardless of how it resolves. An FBI that is perceived as politically directed rather than professionally independent loses credibility with the courts, with the public, and with the foreign partners whose cooperation is essential to the Bureau's counterintelligence and national security missions. That credibility, once lost, is extraordinarily difficult to rebuild. Kash Patel could be fired imminently. The reasons are real, the pressures are documented, and the conversations are happening. What the outcome will be and what it will mean for the institution he has been leading is a story that is still being written in real time.